Yo, what is up, guys? It is your host, Sage the Samurai here, and I'm back on YouTube. Now, guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's been quite a while since I've been back on YouTube, that being a 10 to 11 day break. But during that time, I was spending time, of course, on my holiday break, which, of course, I'm pretty sure you guys had one as well. Which, speaking of which, how did your guys' Christmas go? Which, also, speaking of which, I hope you guys had a good Merry Christmas, because, you know, I had a fun one, too. I even got myself a new laptop, which, now I'm going to be able to edit my videos while even on the road. So, that's a cool thing. And I also had, of course, a bunch of fun time with my family and everything. I also had a few embarrassing moments here and there. But besides all of that, it was all good and fun. And yeah, it was really fun. But now I think it's about time I make my return onto YouTube. And by return, I mean once again going up to my regular upload schedule, which hopefully I'll be able to dedicate myself to. Which I don't know, for some reason, each time I try dedicating myself to like my certain schedule, like something, some outer force or something, I don't know, freaking interferes in it. Whether it be, oh, I had to go on a trip or really anything. But luckily now that I'm taking care of most of my stuff and now I'm good and relaxed, hopefully nothing gets in the way. The only thing I can really see getting in the way is my unusually large amount of laziness. But that sounds like something I'll deal with later. But besides that, guys, this intro has gone on long enough. I'm already past the 1 minute mark. So why don't we go ahead and get started with the what if. Which, by the way, I hope you all do enjoy. And I'm not going to say the name of it because you guys already read the title card. So let's begin.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Alright, guys, now let's begin this what if. So we now begin this what if where we last left off, that being the end to Jiraiya's arc of Jiraiya Tale of the Gallant, as Jiraiya had not only did significant damage to Pain, but he also had been able to escape with him only losing an arm. So unlike in the main timeline, Jiraiya had survived this time due to Machi taking training seriously. However, this is where we're now going to move forward we're now going to move towards the next arc, that being the fated battle between brothers. This arc is going to be skipped over. Now, before you guys comment, this is due to the fact that already the key piece being Sasuke of this arc has already been captured, and has been unable to do anything in the custody of Konoha. However, we're now going to take a look into Sasuke's mindscape, as the lone Uchiha survivor is completely at a loss, as he had begun to give up on his goal. He just couldn't understand. Everything was supposed to go as he intended it to. He was supposed to train with Orochimaru until eventually he was able to become strong enough to get revenge on his brother. But then, he got captured by Naruto. And to say that he was frustrated would be an understatement. He was livid. Due to this, Sasuke had actually done multiple attempts to escape, however each one of them failed. Tsunade was not going to waste time with the little Uchiha survivor, so she put on her top Anbu to go ahead and guard his cell, as she already knew that Sasuke, due to the training of Orochimaru, was not someone to take lightly, and if the Snake Sani were to ever get his hands on said Uchiha, who knows what could happen. As we now turn our attention back to Sasuke's, whose thoughts were going even deeper than usual, as the only thing he can do is get more and more frustrated at everything, as he just wondered how could all this happen to him. However, while this was going on, back in the background of Sasuke's mind, we see Orochimaru, who's currently seeing Sasuke, as his mind begins to crumble under everything, as he was letting out a very sadistic laugh. Don't worry, Sasuke, he'll soon be mine, Orochimaru would say, as he then suddenly vanishes from the background. As little did Sasuke know, Orochimaru's next plan was already in progress, as we turn to see the curse mark glowing off and on. As for Naruto during this arc, he did not really do much. Since he already mastered Sage Mode, he just gets sent on a couple more missions, building more of a reputation for himself. As he climbs the rank of the bingo book, things end up going pretty smoothly for Naruto, which means we can now put a close on this arc. As we now move into probably my favorite arc of all Shippuden, probably, Pain Assault arc. Now, to start this off, first of all, the beginning of this arc is going to be cut off due to the fact that Sasuke already being captured earlier than in canon. The squad that he forms is no longer around, which in turn stops B from fighting Sasuke, as well as the Akatsuki not being able to recruit Sasuke. So we can skip over this part of the arc, as we now move towards when Pain's plan is now in motion. As most of what he does in canon goes along with the canon all the way until he pulls up on Konoha. Naruto was at the village during this time eating some ramen, as unlike in canon due to the fact he had no sage training, he really did not have to go to Mount Minaboku. Although he did train every day, so there was that. But another thing was the fact today was one of those special days where he gets one day off by order of Tsunade because he continued taking too many missions. However, as Naruto was doing nothing more but eating ramen, he would sense Pain approaching. As he then looks up into the air as his same instincts dawned on him, he would then see looming over the air of Konoha, we will see Pain preparing to unleash his Shinra Tensei. At this, Pain, right before he unleashed his legendary attack, would then suddenly be surprised as in an instant Naruto would appear right in front of him. However, that was not the shocking thing. It was the fact that 6 different versions of him, or no, not that, more like 6 different copies of him had appeared in front of each one of the Pains. At this, he was surprised as Naruto would do nothing more but simply put a hand on his shoulder, and he would just mutter the words, "Not here." As he then he just teleported them away from Konoha. As due to this, we now turn to Tsunade, who was at her office, as she had been readying for an attack. At this, she was not the only one, as many of the top Jonin, as well as Jiraiya himself, as well as the Konoha teams, pretty much everyone, except for the villagers, had sensed the attack approaching. However, it seems as if said threat just vanished out of nowhere, as this is when suddenly a Naruto clone would then appear, as he would do nothing more but leave an envelope for Tsunade as he then poofs away. Tsunade was confused as this is when she would then end up reading the letter to be in shock as Naruto was pretty much explaining the whole situation and that he intends on fighting Pain. At this, Tsunade was of course frustrated with Naruto, however, Jiraiya, who had also been there just, sipping some tea and reading his Ichi Paradise, he would go ahead and chuckle. "Don't worry about the brat, Tsunade. Trust me, Pain is a monster, alright." But suddenly, he would then don a very serious expression as he then speaks about Naruto. "But Naruto? That brat. Nah, I don't think that man is far surpassed any strength of a monster." At this, we will now turn to where Naruto was. He had teleported them enough far away from the village to the point where they were actually far enough to where the destruction of their clash would not infect the damage of Konoha whatsoever. So, moving on, Naruto would turn his attention back into Pain, as this is when Pain would then use the Shinra Tensei to push Naruto back, as well as his clones. Naruto, of course, would jump away right at the nick of time, as well as poof his clones away, picking up dust just as Pain uses once again the Shinra Tensei to blow away the smoke. "I won't allow you to attack my village," said Naruto as he gets into the typical Saiyan fighting position. At this, Pain scoffs as he begins to speak, saying that it doesn't even matter as Naruto, as well as the rest of them, shall know Pain. As he, as well as the rest of the Pains, all prepare and tense up for the fight that was ahead of them. As instantly blitzing into action, Naruto starts off the fight, throwing off a couple of taijutsu kicks and punches, intending on hitting them, however the Pain dodged them all. As this is when each one of them would then attack Naruto with the Ashura Path, that being the machine one, would then instantly transform his arms into some sort of missile, to which he shoots it at Naruto. However, said blonde would catch the attack easily, as he then crushes it in his hands and throws it away. This is when suddenly the animal path would then come in, as it would be flying around in this weird bird. Naruto, of course, seeing the bird approaching, would instantly teleport away, appearing right above the Akatsuki, or should I say, appearing right above the Akatsuki member. At this, said bird, of course, got slammed into the ground and got hurt a little bit, but easily shook it off as it once again dashed off for Naruto. "I don't like hurting animals, but I'll make an exception for you." At this, Naruto, seeing the bird approaching while he was just casually flying in the air, would then instantly begin to charge up a Kamehameha Wave. Sensing the dangerous attack, the animal path would then jump away, just as the bird, as it opens its mouth, ready to literally chomp down on Naruto. Naruto would shoot the Kamehameha Wave right through the thing's mouth as he completely destroys it from the outside and the inside. At this, Naruto, finally seeing that it was done, taking care of the bird, would then look down only to see the original path, that being the Diva path, use his Bashun Tenin to bring Naruto in. At this, Naruto being pulled by the force was honestly surprised, as this is when suddenly the human path would then come in, as stretching out its arms, it would then tap Naruto on the stomach. At this, Pain then smirks, as this is when suddenly each one of the other Pains will then come in, as they would grab a hold of Naruto. Now, if you guys want a reference to this one, think of it as when the Avengers, also Guardians of the Galaxy, try to hold down Thanos. It looked like that. As the human path was right behind Naruto though, he would then, right in front of Naruto, as he had his hand on Naruto's stomach, he began to pull out Naruto's soul using the power of the Rinnegan. At this, Pain was thinking that this was over. At this, Naruto can do nothing more but watch as his soul gets pulled away. As this is when Pain, thinking that his victory was secure, would then be in shock as Naruto's soul began to, react violently, as he began to thrash around. As this when the human path would actually end up getting his arm completely torn off just by the shockwave of Naruto's soul literally reacting violently. Others can do nothing more than watch in shock as said soul seems to have a mind of its own as it reinserts back into Naruto's body. As this is when said blonde, now ticked off at what happened and also the fact that he felt weird, would instantly, just flexing his muscles would literally cause the other Pains to back off. As this is when Naruto would then spin around, delivering a kick to the one behind him, that being the Preta path, as he began to also demolish it down by giving it a good gut punch to the stomach, which his fist goes through directly his stomach, killing the path in an instant. As the others watch in shock, as this is when they jump away, this is when Naruto would then turn to the other ones. You're next. At this, not one to let this slide, this is when suddenly, I'm not even going to name the paths because that's taking too much time. And I'm not going to go ahead and start saying, oh, this path, no. Because I know I'm going to mix up the names. And also, this is going to make the story way, way more complicated than it needs to be. So anyway, the healing path, which I'm going to call the one that summons the King of Hell, would then do exactly as I said, summon the King of Hell to bring back the path that got hurt. Of course, said path returns back, fully good as new, as Naruto would then look at that one. So that thing must be the healer of the group. As this is when the rest of the Pains would then jump on Naruto, intending on, giving him the Jiraiya treatment that they did in canon. But Naruto would actually teleport away and appear behind the healing path. As this is when said path turns around, however, it was too late, as Naruto, with a swift chop to the neck, would literally completely chop off the neck. Like, this man literally chopped off the guy's head. Now, of course, this will surprise the other Pains, as they were not expecting this. While Naruto, he just looks down as he then says, now that that's taken care of the way, we can actually fight. Pain, now realizing the trouble, would actually then be in shock as Naruto's eyes begin to take in a familiar glow as he enters Sage Mode. Naruto, deeming now the eyes of Sage Mode, would then dash off into combat once again. At this, he would target the Ashura path, or I guess the machine Pain, I don't really know. He would then target that one as he tries to form extra arms to block against the attack. However, this was a mistake as Naruto, as soon as he makes in contact with said Pain, it will completely just obliterate the front part of its body as it will hit the ground. Using the power of Sage Mode, Naruto added an extra boosty attack, as well as made it where the attack, instead of just hitting him like, just a regular punch like physically, he actually made it to where it also does internal damage. So think of it like durability hockey. Yeah, that's what Naruto's doing with this. Like I said, Naruto got properly trained during this time. At this, the other path is now jumping away, just as the animal Pain, well, actually I'm just going to call it animal path, that one, because that one's way easier to remember than the other ones, will then summon a bunch of animals, or at least all the animals that he had, to go after Naruto. At this, Naruto looked at these, as there was a combination of crabs, spiders, and a bunch of other things, as he just wondered where the heck were they even getting these things from. However, he would easily avoid all of them, as Naruto would once again appear above each one of these animals. You guys are annoying, so I'm gonna have to. However, right before Naruto was able to finish, this is when a bird would then slam into Naruto, that being the perch summoned by the animal path. As Naruto then screams out in rage, as this was getting annoying. So after that, Naruto would literally burst out of the bird just as it collapses on the ground, as he glares angrily at the other Pain that was still there trying to summon the animal back, which he ends up doing so once again. This is getting annoying, so I'm gonna have to take care of this. So with that being said, Naruto began to charge up his new move. At this, he would then begin to form the Rasen Shuriken. However, Naruto was not done, as he ends up adding a new technique that he created into said Rasen Shuriken. Now, before you guys start questioning, yes, I'm giving Naruto the Big Bang Blow. Yep, and if you guys are going to say something about it, and if you guys have any complaints, you can type it down, but let me just say one thing. It's a what if, alright? I can incorporate things, and if I want Naruto to learn Vegeta's techniques, I'm also going to add that in. So, also, since Gogeta is a fusion between, well, Vegeta and Goku, shouldn't he know, like, all of their techniques? So, yeah. But moving on. So, this is when Naruto would then shoot off the Big Bang Rasen Shuriken. As the attack was ginormous, that Pain had no choice but to jump away. However, sadly, the last few paths that were there got caught up in the attack. As said attack was so powerful that the shockwave from it actually got enough attention all the way back in Konoha, as the ground itself would shake. At this, everyone was wondering what the heck was going on, and civilians panicked thinking that there was like some sort of earthquake, while Tsunade as well as many others could already sense the ginormous power of Naruto. Back at the battlefield, Pain would look around as finally the dust had cleared away, only to see complete destruction and massacre, as Naruto would calmly fly down. I guess now it's just you and me, Naruto would say, as he would have a feral grin. At this, Pain, he was sweating, as this was the first time, wait, no. Yeah, this was one of the first few times that he felt true fear. At this, he couldn't even dub Naruto human anymore. Heck, Naruto didn't even use the power of Kyuubi. This was literally just Naruto on his own. And Pain had no idea how to counter against this. Due to this, he actually began to hesitate, backing away a little bit until he shook himself back. At this, seeing that there was nothing else to do, Pain decided to rely on the one thing he could do. His final and strongest technique. At this, Naruto dashed off towards Pain using his superior speed, as this is when Pain gets gut punched instantly, causing him to be sent flying. Naruto would appear right behind him as he would then slam another hit into his back, causing Pain to be slammed flying into the ground. However, Pain was durable enough, surprisingly, to survive the attacks, although he did take extreme lasting injuries. It's not over. I will not lose, as this is when Pain would then unleash his strongest attack, the Chubaku Tensei. At this is when some sort of black hole would then form, as it begins to suck up all the rubble and destruction that was around, including Naruto, who actually gets pulled in by the current. At this, Naruto tries, holding on, of course, but of course the force was strong enough to actually pull Naruto off the ground and drag him into it. As a bunch of piles of rubble began to form in, Naruto would do nothing more but stare down directly at Pain, just as all of it would begin to get collapsed onto him. At this, Pain smiles as Naruto was now trapped into this ginormous meteor of rubble, as he then laughs like a maniac. However, this was a mistake, as Pain then turns his back, thinking that the job was done. However, that was a mistake. Power that was never felt before, that could even be sensed by civilians even back in Konoha. Naruto would then begin to glow and shout out a mighty roar, as the ginormous meteor would then be completely destroyed. At this, Naruto would be there as he now transformed into his new form. Man, it's been a while, but I've always wanted to test this out in a fight. So I thank you for being a good participant and allowing me to. At this, Pain was shook to his core as he stares back at Naruto. The Rinnegan was not able to do anything at this moment, bro. Because compared to Naruto's strength, there was nothing Pain can do at this moment that could prevent him from feeling the exponential power of Naruto at this very moment. Back in Konoha, everyone was feeling this powerful pressure fall upon them, as it seems as if gravity had multiplied, causing them to not be able to move. At this, with Jiraiya, who currently right now was taking it all in, he would be the only one who was actually relatively calm in this situation, as Tsunade then turns to him. How the fuck are you not, going insane from this? How the fuck is Naruto doing this? At this, Jiraiya chuckles. Man, that brat. It seems as if he's finally using that form of his. At this, Tsunade would then give Jiraiya a questioning look, as Jiraiya would then recall a faint memory, as he begins to explain the situation to Tsunade. Back during the training of Mount Minaboku, when Naruto was in the process of learning Sage Mode, he was honestly extremely talented with it, as he almost had got it there on his first try. However, sadly, that was not able to last very long. At this, Naruto began to get frustrated as he then, slams his fist onto the ground. Gosh dang it, I didn't make it. At this, Jiraiya was just chuckling as he says, "Well, I'm impressed. It seems you got a long way before you get to surpassing me, brat," he would say, as he laughs at Naruto's dismay. However, Naruto would just go ahead and rebuttal, saying that Jiraiya was nothing more than a pervert, and that he would gladly not surpass him in that. As Jiraiya would of course get angry at this, saying that he was a super pervert, Naruto would just turn away. Now, due to this, Naruto began to practice on his ki training, as seeing this, Jiraiya decided to leave him alone. Now, it was only for a few minutes, hours, as Jiraiya would do nothing more, relax, drink some sake, the typical Jiraiya movements. However, as he actually went out to go to, do his research, when he returned back to Mount Minaboku, he was in shock as there was, first of all, multiple amounts of destruction, number one. Number two was the fact that literally the biggest amount of toads that were there, yes, the biggest ones, were now down on the ground, seemingly unconscious. And standing over on top of piles of the bodies would be Naruto. However, he looked wild. Like the man's hair seemed to grow even longer, and also he had more of an animalistic features. As Naruto would then turn his gaze onto Jiraiya, the man would fear him. He would literally fear the thought of breathing itself, as he thought if he even breathed even a little bit, he would be dead on the sight right then and there. As this is when Naruto would then calmly teleport right beside Jiraiya as he stared at him up and down. At this, Jiraiya, of course, seeing this, was now preparing to make his escape plan. However, this is when suddenly something surprising would then happen. As Naruto would then say this, "I'm bored." As he would just completely fall unconscious and go into a nap, as his form would then instantly just disappear. Later on, Jiraiya eventually found out that during the training, something went wrong with Naruto that had caused him to unlock some sort of new form, causing him to act more aggressive, cold, and be the cause of all the destruction. As Naruto, after waking up and hearing about this, felt extremely ashamed of himself and was even more determined to learn and master this new form. As we now turn back to Naruto, who currently right now was dubbing said form, but also having the power of Sage Mode beside him, this is when Pain would then ask, What the heck is this? Just what the heck are you?" At this, Naruto then smiles. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki, Jinchuriki of the village hidden in the leaf. And this is Super Saiyan 4. As after taking in this dominating pressure, Pain realized that he is now fucked. There is no way he can win this fight. As leaving no choice, Pain decides to, go all out on his final attack as he unleashes Shinra Tensei as he began to lose all logical reasoning. I mean, what else would you do when you're faced off against something that you have no idea how to fight off against? Naruto, though, would dodge the attack quite easily, as he then says, "This is the end." At this, Naruto would then begin to charge up a new technique. It was the Kamehameha Wave. However, something was off about it, as Naruto would incorporate multiple things. First of all, he would incorporate the Big Bang Blow, causing it to take on a combination of blue and yellow. As Naruto would also add the power of Sage Mode into it, causing the beam to grow even bigger in size. At this, seeing this, Naruto pretty much had a ginormous ball of energy that was formed, like if you guys want to reference, think of it as the Spirit Bomb. Naruto made an attack as big as the Spirit Bomb, as he would stare down directly at Pain, who currently right now is preparing a Shinra Tensei to blow away the attack. Naruto would slam the attack down the ground. At this, Pain, using the power of Shinra Tensei and using everything he got at the moment, trying to stop the attack, would be nothing more but fall short, as the attack would slam into him, as the last thing he could just wonder was, so this is the strength of his resolve. He could think, as at this moment, Pain could only do nothing more but see, as Naruto's will and resolve to be what he was had overcome Pain and his obstacles, as well as the fact that he had also defeated Pain in battle. Due to this, Pain does nothing more, as after getting absorbed by the attack, though once again a ginormous earthquake is able to be sent throughout Konoha. As seeing this, the Anbu that were currently there were just wondering like what the heck was happening as they all rush out, as they need to get orders from the Hokage to find out what the heck was going on. However, this left an opening as a certain someone would then get a sick smile. Finally, it's time for me to move. Back with Naruto, Naruto would seemingly look down at the crater as he had exited out of the transformation. He was breathing quite heavily. The transformation still took quite a bit out of Naruto as he was still growing in strength. However, he was glad the fact that he was actually able to use it in a fight. As this is when Naruto would then turn his attention down at Pain, who was currently now passed out and beaten. At this, Naruto would walk over to Pain. Actually, sorry, not passed out. I mean dead. There's no way this man's coming back from that. Taking that attack at a point blank. Okay. Taking that attack at point blank range. Nah, I don't see Pain surviving that. So due to this, Naruto walks over to Pain as just like in canon, he would of course take the rods out of Pain's face as he uses it to sense out the real one, aka Nagato. After that, I'm not gonna get much into this because I'm not gonna bore y'all with the details. Pretty much, Naruto ends up finding Nagato and Konan. They end up having their moment where Naruto used the power of Talk no Jutsu to talk Nagato out of everything. However, this is where I'm gonna make a difference. Now, since Nagato really didn't get a chance to kill anyone in Konoha because Naruto had foiled his plans, Nagato would not be left to, be sacrificed. Due to this, I'm just going to say Naruto leaves him alone because, if I'm being honest here, it's not like it's really going to matter as we already know what happens to them later on after that. So, moving on, after the whole battle, Naruto had returned back into Konoha as he had a ginormous smile on his face as he was standing on top of the Hokage's monument. At this is when several Anbu would then appear as they actually asked Naruto to go to the Hokage's office, to which he would do so. Once arriving there, Naruto would see Tsunade and Jiraiya, as well as, his Jonin senseis like Guy and Kakashi. At this, seeing them, Naruto then turned. So, what's up? At this, Tsunade would look over at Naruto as she smiles. Naruto had not taken any true damage from the fight. In fact, he looked perfectly fine, if not just a little tired. As she says, I'm glad to see that you make it back alive. At this, Naruto goes ahead and shakes his head at the compliment, saying that it was no problem and that he took care of everything. At this, Jiraiya goes ahead and laughs at Naruto, telling him that he did a good job, to which Naruto is of course thankful for. But moving on with all of that, this is when Naruto would then realize that there was something wrong with the energy here. It was like they literally were sort of grimacing about something, like they were guilty. At this, Naruto asks, what happened? At this, Tsunade looks around, as this is when Jiraiya would then take on a very serious expression. Well, Naruto, something happened. So, apparently, during the battle against Pain, Naruto and his power had struck the village enough to the point where the Anbus that were literally on guard of Sasuke's cell were no longer there. As due to them being disrupted by the power, Sasuke had used the opportunity to actually end their lives and use it to hastily escape, as the rest of the Anbus were too much paying attention to what was going on in Konoha. After all, due to all the shockwaves, things began to act a little bit chaotic. Some people fall into the ground, shop owners end up seeing their merchandise hit the ground as well. The same old vibes. Again, no one was actually injured, okay? But moving on. So Naruto, after hearing this, he was of course surprised, but I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, like, so was Sasuke Escape. Naruto was able to put him down once, and he can do it again. However, this one, once again, they grimaced, as something felt off about Sasuke and his escape. The Uchiha had done so multiple times, and from the way that, people that they sent, like the Yamanaka, to check out Sasuke's mindset, the Uchiha he was falling off the deep end at that point. Like, the man barely had any attempts to escape. The man was honestly just giving up hope. He was becoming a hollow shell. And for him to suddenly escape just one moment, it didn't make any sense to them. As we now turn to a different area, we will see Sasuke, who currently right now is walking through the forest, whistling a tune. He already knows Konoha has sent out Anbus as well as tracking squads to go after him, but he was not worried. After all, the snake had escaped so many times that it was nothing more but a joke to him. As this one we will see Sasuke, who was deeming on the Sharingan eyes, will then turn it off to reveal the eyes of Orochimaru that set in. As we end up hearing him laugh creepily. Finally, the Sharingan is mine, he would say, as he laughs like a maniac, as he then transforms, slithering away. As this is where I'm going to put an end to this part, guys. Hope you all did enjoy. Gosh, I had a headache, guys. This is my second time recording this. The first time, if you guys don't know, check the community page. I went ahead and recorded this for 30 minutes. Well, no, 35 minutes. I stayed up until 4 a.m. in the morning. And for some odd reason, the audio got corrupted, which caused me to lose everything. So I pretty much stayed up till 4 a.m. for no reason. So if you guys don't know, I was very, very pissed off. And honestly, I did not even want to record this what if anymore, dude. I was honestly like I was high-key depressed at that point. But I pushed on as I knew that you guys deserved this video. So if you guys can go ahead and show some support, it'll be really nice, of course. It's up to you guys. As most of all, the main point here is for you guys to enjoy yourselves and relax. But besides all of that and enough of me yammering, I believe this is where I'm going to put an end to this part. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. You guys are amazing. And either way, it is your host, Seiji Samurai, and I'm out. Peace. Oh yeah, and before I go, why don't you guys type down in the comments anything you guys did on on your holiday. You don't have to be too personal, but just say did you guys enjoy it? How do you guys feel? Pretty much all that stuff. As it's always good to hear from you guys. Plus, if you guys don't know, I always read all your comments and, make sure to at least leave a like or sometimes give a response. But besides all that, guys, once again, thank you all for tuning in. And either way, it's your boy, and I'm out. Peace.